Good morning, everybody. It is 9 o'clock, a Thursday morning here on November 6th. I'm Jane Monreal. You're watching Live Impact News on WCNC+. As we enter day 37 now of the federal government shutdown, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, talk of the town is how air travel is going to be affected, with the FAA announcing yesterday, and the Department of Transportation Secretary Duffy saying that the FAA is going to cut back on 10% of its flights across the country in 40 of the major markets. Just getting a statement right now from Charlotte Douglas Airport, and they have been recognized among the 40 airports for reducing flight schedules. However, we have been notified of any reduction. We have not been notified of any reduction at CLT at this time. Our airline partners, including American, will determine and communicate any schedule changes directly to customers. Charlotte Douglas remaining in close communication with our federal and airline partners to stay informed and responsive as needed. There are currently no significant impacts to airport operations. Passengers should check flight status with their airline and plan to arrive in the terminal 2 hours before domestic flights, 3 hours before international. We extend our sincere thanks to all our partners, especially TSA and ATC staff, for their continued commitment to ensuring travelers reach their destinations safely. Our Bria Smith is live at Charlotte Douglas Airport this morning. And Bria, what are you seeing as you've been there looking at travelers, and talk to travelers as they get ready for their flights?
Yeah, Jane, well, we've been here since 5 a.m., so quite a few hours here. If you can take a look behind me, this is the TSA line. Not many travelers in this line. It's not backed up. It has fluctuated since 5 a.m., so there was, minimal foot traffic there, and then, it started to increase during that 7 a.m. window now, and it's looking like it's coming back down. But starting tomorrow, you'll start to see that 4% flight cut that the FAA is talking about that will gradually increase to Saturday, 5% increase, and then into next week it'll be a 10% increase, Jane, of those flight cuts. And that's what some of the travelers that we had the chance to speak with here this morning were kind of concerned about, especially one traveler who travels for their job kind of weekly.
Yeah, that could be a definite a pain point. Bria, it does look pretty calm out there, but right now, are you seeing any delays on the board?
So, Jane, I haven't had the chance to actually look at the board just yet. It doesn't seem that there are any delays as far as I've learned so far, but I have spoken to a traveler, and literally just seconds ago spoke to a man and his family who are getting ready to board their flight here in a few, and he literally voiced, I just hope that our flight doesn't get canceled. So that's the worry. And a traveler that we spoke to a little earlier this morning also mentioning that next week he'll have to travel to 3 different cities, Jane, and he's hoping that he'll be able to return home here to Charlotte in that flight not be canceled. So just a little bit of concern from passengers who actively are in the airport and taking those flights.
Yeah, Bria, Carlene just taking a look here at what FlightAware, but
FlightAware, yeah, it says 15
delays,
which is not bad.
No, that's not bad at all. And as a matter of fact, my husband's flying, and he is delayed, but he did just take off. So looking at an hour delay, they didn't say anything about because of air traffic control shortages. What is the FAA saying about staff shortages, Bria?
Yeah, Jane, they are recognizing the fatigue within the department. Nationwide, there have been 2,000 to 3,000, air traffic controllers that aren't operating as usual throughout the country. And so they're definitely starting to feel that burnout as they're, I believe, at week 5 of not being paid. So, the FAA just wanting to, acknowledge that there is a shortage. And they're just saying that something needs to be done for these staff members who are, going without pay, hitting here week 5.
Absolutely. Bria Smith, thank you for that live update. And some air traffic controllers also having to get a side hustle to try to pay some of those bills, get some food on the table. Appreciate the update. Travelers look pretty calm right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. Thanks. All right. Our Bria Smith out there at Charlotte Douglas Airport. If you do have any issues or if there's any announcement, give us an update. Throw us a line here on WCNC Charlotte. I am flying out later, late tonight, so I'll try to give you an update as well on the socials. But it is definitely a concern as we wait for the impact and what that looks like in the days to come. 4% potentially tomorrow.